What up, y'all? Michael Shelton here, going handheld on this particular video. All right, so I'm going to do a 4-part mini-series, I'm going to call it, on the 4 major fears that we experience in life. And I'm starting with part 1. It's one finger. Part 1, the fear of failure. And I chose this as the first one because I think that this is the fear that we can all most relate to. I think it's the fear that we experience the most in our daily lives. And it's something that can really easily be overcome.
And just feel the freaking fear, because we all feel
it. Several fears of failing that are very consistent across the board are the fear of failing because we think that if we fail, that it proves that we're not good enough, which is a huge thing. So feeling inadequate drives a lot of our action and inaction to not move through this fear of failure. Another fear might be that if we fail, we're just not good enough, again, and not worthy of love. And that is a huge thing that I've experienced in my life. And it's something that we have to remind ourselves that those who truly love us, our true friends and our true families, they're going to be behind us no matter what. So if you're afraid of failing and letting others down, you have to remind yourself that the real people in your life, your real family, your real friends, your real homies, they're going to be behind you no matter what, as long as you admit and be honest about your failure, no matter how big or small it is. You know, failure is a part of a discovery process, right? So success comes from being willing to gain knowledge. And even if you're doing something that's not working, you're always good enough, no matter what. If you're giving your best intention, you are succeeding right now, no matter what. And also reminding ourselves that avoiding failure means closing ourselves off to the opportunity of new possibilities that we might not experience or know or come to realize if we stay stuck in a tight little comfort zone that never wants to fail because it takes it personally. And I deal with this like every single day, and that's why I'm posting about this. All right, so I'm going to give you an example of a time in my life where I actually overcame fear of failure and how it completely set up my life for a new direction. I would not be the person I am today if I had not stuck through the discomfort of this fear. So I'll try to keep it brief and interesting. So I'm a drummer, and I started playing drums when I was 14, and I was horrible for a really long time. And I still don't feel like I'm good enough. But I moved to a new high school, and I tried out for drums. And at the time, I guess I had some crazy false sense of confidence, but I thought I was going to make it. And so I went in there, auditioned, and the band teacher was honest and upfront and said that I didn't even come close to making it based on their current roster. And that even if I tried out next semester, I probably still wouldn't make it. So I was pretty devastated at the time because that was like all I was focused on. I quit playing sports. I wasn't hanging out with anybody. I didn't have a girlfriend. I was making bad grades in school. All I was focused on was the drums. And I didn't even make it. And at the time, I felt like it reflected a sense of who I was. You know, I felt like it reflected the fact that I wasn't good enough to do anything. So long story short, I took on the alto sax because I had to take on anything. I played that alto sax in class. I went home every day after school. I put it away, and I played the freaking drums every single night. And I worked hard at it. And I auditioned that next semester, knowing what the band teacher has said, that I really didn't have a chance of making it with their current roster. And something happened, but I made like 3rd drum list. And I don't know if it was a mix of the skills I'd achieved, because I still wasn't that great, or the passion that the teacher saw in me, but I made the drums. And drumming has defined my life ever since then. My closest relationships are built on music. I met my wife at a show I was playing. If I had not gone past that initial fear of failure after failing once and hadn't attempted a second time, I don't know where my life would be, but I would be somebody that I didn't want to be deep down inside. So anyways, that's my little, there's my finger. That's my little mini success story on why fear of failure is something real that we all experience, but it's something that we really need to push through. And there's 3 easy ways that you can do that. Number 1, visualize obstacles. A lot of people are really big into like positive visualization these days, and closing our eyes and imagining that life is going to work out perfectly in our favor. And we all know that that's how it never happens. So visualizing obstacles is a good way to set ourselves up to overcome fear of failure. So what you do is you think of something that you've been afraid to move toward. And what you do is you start thinking of that situation, close your eyes, start visualizing it, and then imagine an obstacle popping up. And then visualize yourself feeling that intense fear, I'm going to zoom out, that's going to arise in your chest and up to your neck. Imagine yourself feeling that fear and pushing through it. And get very specific when you're visualizing this, because what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and set you up so that you're already overcoming obstacles that haven't even happened yet, that might not even happen. You're already setting yourself up for that success. And then take a couple minutes to write down a long list of the different obstacles you think might arise. All of the obstacles you think might arise that might get in the way of you moving toward this goal. And then just rinse and repeat that shit, man. Just imagine yourself moving toward that goal, seeing the obstacle, feeling the fear, and moving anyway. So number 1, visualize obstacles. Number 2, uncover your story. A lot of times when we fail, we connect our failure to some sense of identity or some bigger story about ourselves, like we're not good enough, or nobody loves us, or we just weren't born to succeed. None of that is true. And so if we can identify failures in our life, past failures, small and large, we can start to kind of uncover the story that we attach to those failures. And when we uncover the story, we realize that it's just that. It's a story. It's not real. It's just an identity that we've been holding about ourselves that really doesn't serve us any more purpose. So yeah, number 2, uncover the story behind your fear of failure. We take failure personally. And we only take failure personally because we attach a story to it. And that story doesn't have to be what we live by. All right, so number 3 of 3, surrender and just feel the freaking fear. Like we're so afraid to feel fear because it's uncomfortable. But if you actually are present with your fear and don't run away from it and just simply allow yourself to feel it, you realize it becomes much more manageable. So next time you're feeling really stressed out or you're afraid of taking a risk, just take 2 minutes, set a timer on your phone. There's even a website called www.donothingfor2minutes, I think. donothingfor2minutes.com or something. And it's basically a website where you set a timer for 2 minutes. And if you move your mouse within that 2 minutes, it resets. It forces you to do nothing for 2 minutes. And so next time you're feeling this, go back inside yourself and allow yourself 2 minutes to regroup. So, all right, I want to wrap up with a call to action. I am going to fail at something in this next week, and I don't know what it is. Now, I'm not going to intentionally go out there and suck at something, but I'm going to recognize opportunities to break out of my tiny little comfort zone and see opportunities to take risks and fail. So whenever we're doing something for the first time, it's never going to look good. More likely than not, we're going to fail at it. So in this coming week, I'm going to take a risk on something. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to fail at it. And when I post the next video, I'm going to let you know exactly what it was. And I challenge you to take this journey with me too. Let's both fail at something this week. Thank you for watching. Let's fail together. Let's fail on something together. I'm going to fail so hard, man. It's going to be awesome. And I'll see you when I see you next. Much love, y'all.